The girl walks down the aisle by herself, gets to her vows, and says, all the ladies who are independent. First of all, she said, I walk myself down the
I want
aisle.
you to know I walk myself down the aisle.
But she did it with the shoulders, baby. You
Yeah,
got to
she
do it with
did
the
do the
shoulders.
shoulders. Like, I want you to know I walk myself down the aisle just so you know how real I am, how
I
independent
want
I
you to
am.
know I
Like,
set up this entire ceremony by myself. I lifted every single chair with one pinky and laid it down in an exact line before I got here because I'm an independent woman. I don't need anybody to do anything for me. And I'm sitting there like,
please stop talking.
hey, my loves. Welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm Intisar if you don't know me, but you can call me Zar. And this is my beautiful husband, Joseph.
Hey,
Please, by all means, refer to him as Mr. Joseph Allen Conner.
no, don't do
And we are back, and we are talking all things Married at First Sight. Before I even dig into the episode, Joe is going on tour, guys. So just in case you guys want to come out, check Joe out with his band. We are otherwise is the band, but we are otherwise is their handle. You guys can check him out, see him in whatever city he's in or your city.
Well, we leaving this week. A lot happening. It's always bittersweet when it's tour week because I'm excited to go work and go play and travel, but I'm gonna miss my wife. So we're gonna do this here and then we're gonna try to keep doing it when we get on the road.
Yeah, we're gonna try our best. We're gonna try our best. So let's dig on in. So I guess we'll go couple by couple. I've been recently just going like what happened in the episode, but let's dig in a couple by couple. So let's talk Mitch and Kristen. Not much to talk about because they have absolutely positively no chemistry.
Yeah.
But
Mitch is a dick and he's always doing something to make people upset. So that was nothing new.
So this is an episode where they get together and they're talking to each other's families. And I always wonder, do these families operate like this normally? I know it's hard to introduce somebody to your family on your wedding day. It's got to be hard. And they don't know them. I'm certain they have so many questions. But y'all don't feel like the questions are like real. Some, not all of them, some of the questions are very deep. And it's just like, you're getting in. I know everybody wants to do that, like wants to ask super deep questions. But what happened to like, what do you do for a living? Or,
yeah, well, I
you
think
know what I mean?
for me, it's not even that. I think many of the questions are bad questions. Some of them weren't questions at all. Like somebody just made a comment. We were talking about it this weekend with some friends who also watched the show, and somebody made a comment saying, "Yeah, you're a Capricorn, and he's." An
well, it
Aries.
was the sister.
Yeah,
it was
she
the
made
sister
a comment about
Lindy.
it, and after that comment, I just was while the show was happening. I'm watching TV, and I'm like, is that even a question? What is she supposed to say to that?
But
so I think a lot of the times we need to the producers, I think, do things and allow them to ask things that are salacious. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's sit down and talk about your sex life with my sister. Like, no, that's none of your business. Also, like, not a good question if you're getting to know somebody, right? So I think a lot of the times this is my issue with production, where it's like they also ask a lot of the same questions, like, what are your intentions? Which is the dumbest question ever. But someone asked it every year, which I think they are prompted to ask it by production. So it's just because all around bad questions.
People still ask that question. Do people still ask that question? Y'all out there, y'all got kids.
I don't think in real life.
Do people still ask the question, what are your intentions? Like, the reality is like we all have the same intentions to get, kissed and loved on, eat a little bit and watch some TV. It ain't gotta be like we just want to have a life. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that I get the idea of asking these questions and why they're important, But I also feel like, yeah. So Mitch sits down with Kristen's family, and obviously he's attracted to the mother. It's really freaking weird to me. Um, I also didn't. I don't mind people who are open to people. Like her mother asked really good. Well, she asked, "What are your intentions?" But she also asked him, "Why
Terrible.
haven't you been married?" And I think that matters as well. And they were talking, but she picked up that he is honest, but she thinks that he will be honest to a fault. Like some people don't read the room. You know what I mean? Like honesty, I think, and being honest with people is really important. But to what end? You know what I mean? Because also you not there's a fine line between omission being a lie and omission to save space.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So I feel like, when she's talking about him and his brutally honest, it's because she picks up that he doesn't know how to save space. And people are brutally honest. People, when they are brutally honest to me, means that they're selfish. And I mean selfish in a negative way. Because you can be honest without being brutal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she's obviously picking that up on him and picking up that he loved, I don't know,
Mitch.
wooden spoons and everything like that more than he liked women.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because they also mentioned that, again, him talking, he talks more about plastic than about, anything else, which is annoying. And it's also alarming. Like that's talk about that. Like that's a red flag. Like they couldn't even pop confetti without him saying, like, oh, this is too much plastic.
That bothered me so
Like that
deeply.
could really ruin a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like putting a squash on big
But guess
moments
what? All
like
he had to
that.
do. Here's a workaround. Pop the confetti, sweep it up, and then burn it. Here you go. There's a solution. It might, make a little bit of air pollution, let's be honest. But the reality is it ain't gonna end up on the ocean because that's what you were. You worried about the fish, but not the people actually walking on the beach. You know what
But you
I
know
mean?
what I'm worried about in that moment? Because I'm not. It's not even about Mitch and how he can fix the earth for me. It's about picking your spots. I don't mind you being like,
Right.
everybody is passionate about something, and some of us might think somebody else's passion is dumb, right?
Right.
His passion is plastic, which I'm fine with that. To each his own. My thing is, you got to understand moments and understand, again, like you said, how to read the room, right? If y'all are celebrating your wedding, you're
Right.
celebrating, I think it was them finding out about the honeymoon or something. I don't know. It was something celebratory, a
Yeah,
moment
they're
for
finding
the.
out about the honeymoon. Yeah.
Okay, so y'all are celebrating your honeymoon, right? You only gonna get one of these typically, right? If you do it right. So you should know or be mature enough or be aware enough to go, now is not the time for me to talk about my anxiety about the earth. You
He
know what I'm
doesn't
saying?
read the
And that's
room.
scary to
He
me. It's
doesn't read
not
the room.
about the
It's
plastic or the earth.
equivalent. It's
That's scary.
equivalent to any woman being like, "Well, I got this and I got that." It's equivalent
Yeah.
to that. Like it's like that shouldn't be a character trait. Like it should be what you're passionate about is what you're passionate about, but who you are has to be something else, right? At least in my mind.
Yeah.
So, they talk or whatever, and I feel like Kristen sits down and speaks with Mitch's family, which they asked the same question, but Mitch's brother said it like, "This is a stupid ass question to ask. Like, what are your intentions with my brother?" Like,
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Well," because she was ready, because she's an actress. She did. Well, I feel like that's a wonderful question to ask, and I'm sitting there like, "Girl, is it?" Like,
She's always produced.
so I mean, the problem I have with her, or one thing is that I don't feel like she's disingenuous. Part of me feels like she really is this person, but
But
it makes
sometimes,
me feel sad that she feel like she always got to be on.
but sometimes you say, I'm trying to speak to you saying, I think she's always this person, but I don't think she's disingenuous. Sometimes that person is always disingenuous. Does that make sense? That's what I was
Yes.
trying to say.
Yes. Sometimes they
It
are
is.
actually
Yes. Yes.
disingenuous. You know what? But I don't want to go that far with her, because I think she has this is a fascinating couple, because I really feel very viscerally indifferent about both of them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if they come or go. You know what I mean? And but I'm saying all that to say Mitch's sister-in-law steps in, and the mother, they just gave her some real truth. Like, listen, sometimes he says things and he's not conscious of how it may affect the person, but to him he's being honest. Like, and he's super prideful and doesn't want to, apologize or say that I'm wrong or whatever the case may be. And under the guise that he was being honest. And I felt like, one, I appreciated that they told her that, because so often people will, oh, not my baby,
Sugarcoat
not
everything.
mine.
Yeah.
You like it, and I get it, because everybody's not supposed to know every aspect of your
Right.
relationship. Like, let me say that. But it also, because I go through that too, it also bothers it bothers me when people be like, oh, I could never see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop, like, come on, like, you know what I mean? It really, like, so when they said, like, listen, like, this is a part of his character, it meant to me that it stands out so much to them that's why they had to say it. Like, girl,
Yeah.
watch out, because the sister-in-law, I almost didn't think she liked him.
Yeah, but also that they're honest, because I think the big thing too is everybody's just not completely honest. Like, when the guy said, "Do you like to tussle with alligators or whatever?"
He
Like,
said, "Do
you
you
know what I
like
mean?
to
Just being straight up.
wrestle
Yeah.
with alligators?" And the fact that I don't use that more in my day-to-day life is really upsetting to me.
If you
Like,
was
I should
from
be
down
talking like
south,
that
you
more.
would
He said, "Do you like to
wrestle
wrestle
with
with
alligators.
alligators?" And but my thing is, like I said, I'm not too keen on Mitch and Kristen. I'm a bit nerve sighted about them, though. Like, I could see it working out, because one thing I like about her is that she is incessantly positive. And
Yeah,
even
she
when
is,
things
which is
bother
good.
her, she's just like, okay, I can give it I can, give it a little bit, but I worry that she's not going to advocate for herself.
She seems pretty positive and she seems pretty patient, and
Yeah.
that is the two things that I like about her, because I feel like, especially with Mitch, she's gonna need a lot of both.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about Lindy and Miguel. Sorry, guys. Sorry for that pregnant pause. Let's talk about Lindy and Miguel. Miguel was too through with Lindy ass. Okay, she took forever in the bathroom. He like, this girl is nuts. Okay, she in there. She talking to herself. All right, she can't find this. She can't find that. She anxious, and we had a conversation about this weekend about how Joe said you don't think Miguel likes Lindy.
I don't. I just He gives me that, he's committed to the process,
Mm-hmm.
and that he's, sticking through. He's gonna stick through to see it out. But he just gives me like he's tolerating her. Like, I don't feel like he's that into her as a person. I don't feel like he's that attracted to her. It just gives me like super low vibration. So, you know what I mean, with him.
So part of me feels like he's super low vibration. That's
Well,
number
yeah,
one.
that could be it too.
So part of me feels that way. The other part of me thinks that I, and this is just first impressions. Like, we really don't know these people yet, right? I do think he has like a complex. Like, you have to be a certain amount of perfect in his brain for it to work. Like, granted, he's been cheated on quite a bit, but even when they asked him, Lindy's family asked him, like, why haven't you been married? He didn't take no responsibility.
Yeah,
He was like, them bitches wasn't shit.
quite literally.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm the man, okay?
Yeah.
And the bitches was basic. Like, he just was better off saying that. Like, he really didn't say, I was just sitting there like, okay, so, but why aren't you married? You know what I mean?
Yeah, which that should be a red flag too. You know what I
It
mean?
is a red flag.
Yeah, I just feel like, I feel like on top of that, I think to your point, it is him just maybe being low vibrations, and her being the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So seeing that together in the same on the same screen,
Yeah.
it really just lets you see how different they are, and how it could be an issue.
And she has like a childlike energy. So she
Yeah.
has like, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in the like, she's optimistic and
Yeah.
she's excited
She's buzzing
and
yeah.
excitable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I just think that
No.
I can understand if you're not used to that kind of energy. Mind you, he played with toys and dressed up like
Yeah, so I
But
don't. What
he
are
the
we
one
talking
who ain't
about?
got. It's so weird.
Yeah, like you should be cool with her. You know what I
It's
mean? Y'all
so
could play with
weird.
toys together. He does dress up.
Like, come on. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's very odd. But I want to dig in to the conversation that Lindy's family had with Miguel, which was very, very fascinating. So he sits down. He asks him, like, do you want to ask anything about me? And the mom immediately said, I want to talk about sex.
Yeah, that's all. That's just
And I want to be clear. And
no.
y'all might not like this. Y'all might not like this. And I don't care. Lindy is effing. And she been effing. Okay? And y'all might not know that, but she looks like she's nasty. And
I,
I mean that with, and I like Lindy, and I mean that with all due respect. I mean that like, yes, girl, be nasty. Not like you nasty. I mean like, yes, you is nasty. And I
it
like
wouldn't
it.
surprise me.
That's what Lindy gives me. Y'all worried about, y'all need to be asking Miguel not to be freaking down. Even though it did come out that he was trying to be a little, forward with Lindy, and she kind of like shut it down or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
But I still feel like, girl, please don't be trying to say you trying to save your good girl image, and let's keep it a
for
thousand
TV.
for TV, and it's not up for debate. Ain't nothing about her, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Lindy just get because she gives so excitable, and you could tell she's.
We've seen it before. We've seen
That's
other
all I'm
people. We've seen
saying.
other people do
That's
it
all I'm
before, where they
saying.
come on the show and it's not that they are. It's not that they are trying to lie or deceive anybody. It just later comes out that like they were just trying to conceal the fact that they were sexually active or whatever. And we
Yeah.
talking about after they already got married. So we've seen people come do that before, and it seems like Lindsay, because of her family and her upbringing, she might be trying to keep the lid on the fact that she
Let
stopped
me say
practicing it
something.
because she said
Lindy was
she said
screwing
she doesn't
somebody on a
practice.
bachelorette party.
She said she doesn't.
Okay, and I don't know who it was, but it was somebody.
She said that she doesn't
That's a
practice
rumor, by the way.
anymore. Didn't she say that?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
but
she
I don't even
admitted, like,
think
you know what I mean, that like it wouldn't be. But I don't think she wants them to know that she's
that's
just
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, I don't even think it's even about that. I think when she was it don't matter. I think when she was practicing, she was effing this sucking. Okay, and that's just really how I feel, and I
No,
feel
I
like
think she
that's
hasn't.
fine.
I think in reality she hasn't practiced since she was a kid. So her, you know what I mean. It seemed like
Being in this
yeah, because every
spirit,
time she talks about it, it's like her childhood type thing.
which is cool. What I'm getting at though is what an awkward conversation to have. Like, well, the Bible says, let me tell you something. You might as well be quoting green eggs and ham if you think that you
But
gonna come
also,
out here and say some shit from the Bible.
so, like you said, we're missing opportunities to ask real questions to get to know a person who you just met
Get to know him.
24 hours ago. Because what he's doing in his sex life, even if he asked that question open and honestly, is not going to help you know who he is
All
at
you could
all.
have. There's ways to ask it though. Like, when was the last time you were in a relationship? You know what I mean? Like, are you a casual? Were you a casual date? Like, you can ask certain things to maybe get like an
But
idea,
get to know
but it
him.
still wasn't in any of y'all goddamn
Yeah,
business.
it's none of your business. And I think that the bigger issue is Neil in this moment, in this point of the season, and a lot of the seasons, we're asking the wrong questions. Let's get away from asking what people doing in the
Yeah.
bedroom and what they used to do and who they used to do it with and blah 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 blah. There's so much. We are all such complex human beings. You know what I mean? Like I've known this woman since she was a teenager, and I'm still getting to know her as a person, right? So the idea that you can meet somebody 48 hours ago and think you're going to get to know them by asking them their sexual tendencies in a bit, like that's crazy. You know
It's
what I mean?
wild
Like
to
you
me.
said, ask what do you do for fun? What do you like to eat? What are you? I mean, or what are you allergic to? Ask something that that
Okay.
that give that moves the needle and allows you to know this person a little better because you're not going to know that by asking them. Well, let's talk about what you like to do in the bedroom. That's
Like, are
dumb.
you kidding me? But inversely, and he felt the same way. Like, I'm sure, just based on his answer.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, are
just
you
trying to be nice. You know what I
right?
mean?
But like, really, y'all are weird. That's really what he wanted
Yeah.
to say. Like, y'all are weird. But inversely, I thought his sister did team too much. When I mean his sister did team too much, I was almost, if I was still back in my fighting days, okay, Lindy, I would be like, girl, call me because we about to pull up on this hoe. because she's doing too much.
Yeah.
And I don't even, let me tell y'all something. I'm not even, but I got the spirit of don't even try me with the bullshit. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not even the one for that. Like I took so much issue with how she spoke to her.
Yeah.
I mean, so much issue. First of all, Lindy is not even confrontational
At all, and you could tell. So it felt like you were beating up on her,
and I didn't like it.
and she wasn't going to push back because that's not her personality.
And I didn't like
You
it.
were making her uncomfortable. I mean, even just the
intentionally.
The tone.
And the friend thought it was uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
Because he was like, no, like we don't mean it. She didn't mean it that way, whatever the case may be. So the sister asked, what's her sign? Now y'all know I'm a good witch. I thought that was a very good question. If he's a Cancer and she's a Gemini, no, it's not always working. It's air and water.
But what are you, even bringing that up at the table, how is that going to do anything for you or their relationship?
That's number one. Like, number two, you ain't a good witch if you don't know. It ain't necessarily about your sun sign, how you love. It's more about how you communicate and like where your planets are in your love, like the house of love or whatever the case may be. So it's so much deeper than just your star sign. You know what I mean? And I think that like people forget that like that's just one aspect of a much larger spectrum of who you are. You could be a Cancer and then everything else be fire. And you would essentially be a fire sign. You're not a Cancer at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just was born that day or whatever the case may be. So it's like, I felt like it was a little ignorant to even lead with that. I thought it was rude to even say, well, I just think it's going to be hard.
Yeah, it wasn't a question. My issue with it is it was not a question. It doesn't matter. Not only that, but it doesn't matter. We're married.
One, we're married. Two, who was it going to be hard for?
Right.
Who? Right. Explain it. Who is it going to be hard for? You know what I mean? And the only thing that made me, because Lindy was trying to be obviously respectful, obviously open to the process, obviously open to them speaking about it, but I really wish she would have dug in her ass. And I really wish she would have answered more sarcastically, but she was so busy trying to be like, I want you guys to like me and feel like you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was just like, this poor baby. So then the woman, I'm really pissed at his sister Haki. Then she goes on to say that, what did she ask her about what she does for, not what she does for a living.
What does she?
Can she financially?
Can she contribute? What does she?
How much can you contribute?
How can you contribute?
How can you contribute?
And that's when the student loans thing.
Poor baby on the verge of tears, going to say, well, I got student loans, and Joe Biden didn't tell me if he was going to pay him off or not. So I've been stressed out about it. I've been really crying about it, and I'm like, this poor sweet baby. First of all, she's a doctor. Put some respect on her motherfucking name. Okay, that's number one. Number two, so it took a lot for her to get to where she is. Mm-hmm. And I really do not like that. And granted, I hope that their relationship has since gotten better or it's grown. But I felt like when your brother signed up for this, he knew he might get a broke bitch. He knew. You want to know how he know? Because he ain't know who the hell she was going to be. That's how I know he knew he could have got a broke.
But not only that, I don't even want to go there because having student loans don't mean you broke.
It don't. Well, she don't. Well, she also said she ain't really trying to be working like that. She said she do a little shank to thing, but she ain't really out here like every day working. But
the point is, this whole thing started with the student loan.
Yeah.
And it's just like we talked about the other week with the credit. Like, it doesn't matter, y'all. It does not matter. Like, the fact of the matter is having student loans, having high credit, having low credit, all of that. It can be fixed. It can be worked on. And in a marriage, you're going to encounter much harder things to get over than student loans and credit. It's really not. It's really, especially for you to talk about that again after just meeting this person. And you're not doing anything to get to know this person
at all. And you really, what she was trying to set her up. I felt like she was trying to set her up, and she was just giving her like negative. Lindy could have said anything, and she would have had a negative response.
It didn't even matter.
She could have said anything, and it just really took me aback. Like, oh, I don't want him to be. I I get you not wanting to, him to get his feelings hurt or whatever like this, but we talking about a big grown ass man.
Yeah, he grown.
I mean, big grown.
But not only that, but whatever financial situation that he decides to take on for his wife or not, it's
Has
none of
nothing
your
to
business.
do with
It's
you.
none of your business.
It
It
has
is none
nothing
of
to
your
do
business.
with you.
So that's my
Is he calling you to ask you to borrow money?
Yeah.
And
No.
that's exactly what I did. He asked you for something?
Yeah, that's what you should
Because
have
I'm
said.
trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
figure out why.
Yeah, don't worry. We won't call you for nothing.
Don't
Period.
you worry. Don't you worry. And it just has to be that because I felt like she was giving a little bit too much. Like she would have to be the one to clean it up.
Yeah.
Like, girl, like if he's so well off and he doing this and that, you really don't got to worry about his fucking finances.
Period. His or mine's, anybody else's.
Or anybody else's. And now I'm gonna work, and if I'm not gonna work, I'm gonna stay home and cook these goddamn tacos and get them ready for him. So when he come home, he good.
But why do they have to eat tacos?
Cause he Puerto Rican.
Look, you racist.
Ooh,
but
he Puerto Rican.
But the point is that not only is all that true, but this is none of your business. You know what I mean? Like this is none of your business. So my issue with the whole, because they do these scenes every year, is that a lot of these questions are just none of your business. Not only are they none of your business, but they don't get us anywhere.
I couldn't believe she asked her, "What can you contribute?" I would have been like, "Absolutely nothing." The looks. Hello, I'm a little razzle dazzle. He got what he got, and I'm gonna throw the razzle dazzle on it. What Eddie Murphy said? He said she gonna go to work and get her $200. Then we got $1,200,000. Period. That's who I am. Don't worry about what I'm bringing to the motherfucking table, ho. I'm not bringing nothing. Okay, not a motherfucking thing. It better be set up when I get there too. It just is like I want the problem I had with it one is that she's a woman, so it made me think. Are you going through these kind of questions?
No, it was to bully her. She's a bully.
It was to bully her. And you know what? I was watching something completely unrelated. I think it was Mama's Boy on TLC. And the mom asked a question and the girl came back so smooth. I think the mom asked, "Well, would you get a prenup? Like, he comes from a certain kind of family, whatever the case may be. Would you get a prenup?" And the girl turned to the mother and said, "Did you get a prenup?" And I said, "Damn right, bitch." And that's on period. Or did you sign a motherfucking prenup? Don't worry about what I'm about to do.
Right.
This his life. You know what I mean? And it's just that's how I felt about the situation. And that's it. And that's all. So just so long as Lindy, stay fed, I think they're gonna be all right. Let's talk about Nate and Sasha. More Nate, less Sasha. They've been having they got a lot of chemistry.
Yeah.
They had a conversation about I kind of like them. The more I watch them, the more I really like them. And even more them, the more I really like Nate. And I wasn't sure I was going to like him in the beginning, but he just seems after he was, choking strippers and stuff like that. Oh. I now feel like I'm getting to him and I kind of like it. Like I like it and I get it. So they wake up or whatever the case may be, and they're talking about how they, grew up and how he kind of moved around a lot and everything like that. He didn't grow up with his mother and his dad really did everything for him, but he was always constantly in search of family. And they talk about how him being mixed affected him and even still does. He can get a little bit recluse. And she says that, she shares that experience because she went to a school that was predominantly white. So it was nice to see, the light skins kind of like.
Yeah, but she said, well, I feel like, I'm not accepted by either side.
Did that bother you?
I mean, why?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean? Why?
You know what I mean? Like, you weren't accepted by either side. Mm-hmm. Like, why do you feel that way?
I think she feels that way because she looks mixed and people weren't able to identify her as either just black or just white or just whatever. I'm not even sure if she's half white or, just whatever. They were trying to figure it out. And because they didn't know, I think that she was bullied because of that.
She didn't say she was bullied, though. It felt like
she didn't.
No. So it felt like a little bit like how somebody.
I don't think she used
somebody
that word.
tries to trauma bond a little bit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So are you saying you don't believe her?
I'm over that part. Yeah.
So
Not
why you
really.
think you over it? Like, what is it about the conversation that you felt like you were over?
I mean, I understand his situation was real. Like, his mom died. I think he said when he was like 6.
No, his mom didn't die.
I thought,
No,
what happened with his mom?
I don't know. She just wasn't in his life
Oh, he said he. Oh, that's right. He said he met his mom once
when he was
when
12.
he was 12, and then like she hugged him, and then he like never saw her again. So
Yeah.
either way, the story is really like messed up. So I understand him, having a tough time and actually being like a mixed kid or whatever, and going through whatever struggles that he was going with. It felt like she was trying to trauma bond a little bit. You know what I mean? Doing the whole light skin thing. Like,
But do you
oh,
think it's an issue? Do you think so? When you say light skin thing, what do you mean by that,
you
though?
know how sometimes people be doing the light skin thing. It's hard to explain. Like it was so hard being light skin. Like, you know what I mean? Like they,
This sounds so colorist, though, because we're inversely we're dark skin, and I don't even know if it's colors. I think that we all have the human experience. I know, and I don't want this to be the oppression Olympics, but I do think it is a difference. Like, and
absolutely.
I've always gone to predominantly white
Me
schools.
too.
Always. So I'm saying that, I mean, always, even through college, went to a PWI. So I get what they're saying, but and not that it's not real, because it's real to them. But I just felt like bored.
A little
bored,
bit.
bored,
Yeah.
bored, bored. Like, I want to
Yeah.
care, and I think I care more about Nate's
Yes. That's what I'm
situation
saying. Yes.
because I think it
Because of the
stems from
childhood
something
trauma.
else. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
going through abandonment issues,
Yes.
and he had a lot going on that affects your confidence. Your confidence affects how children treat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I do kind of feel like poor baby or whatever the case may be. But I do also feel like the privilege that you both get from being beautiful people, from being of a different hue. It okay. I just
Closer
and
to the
I'm
other
not. I don't
bag
want
than the
to.
brown bag.
And hello. And I don't want to. I don't like I said. I don't want this to be like an oppression Olympics. But I also feel like okay.
Yeah. I felt the same way.
I just felt like okay. So he sits down with Stasha's family, and I thought it was really. I'm glad that the girlfriend asked about the whole. Are you willing? How did you feel about the girlfriend asking? Was he willing to wait
Wait for what?
to consummate the
I think
marriage?
it's none of your business. Period. Don't ask me about my dick, bro.
Well, no.
Period. Do
Why would
not
you say
ask me.
that word on here?
What? That's what they was doing.
Oh my
What you want me to
god,
say?
you is
Penis? Don't
right.
ask me. But that's what I'm saying. That's why she looking like she looking like. Oh my god. But for real though, that's what we talking about, right? You asked me about my sex life. You're asking about my anatomy, and so whatever word
I
you
like
want to
that
call it.
better.
Don't ask me about that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's none of your business. It's none of what
But
me
they
and
kind of
mine
made
do.
it. They kind of made it everybody's business when they said it at the altar, though. Can we agree to that?
Who?
The
He
people.
didn't say that though.
Yeah, but did you hear on the Did you watch the after show?
Not from this. Not from this
You got
episode.
to do better. You got one job. That's to watch the
Well,
after
first of
show.
all, I
I do
had to
everything
like one
else. You
more.
got to do one
Oh,
job.
you do everything else.
But so on the after show, he says he still don't know. He said that he think it was his friend Greg. And it immediately, and then, but guess what? Alexa's gonna say, "How about Greg now?"
Thank you, Alexis. A
And
real
I
one.
almost died laughing. But
A real one.
there's that. He got emotional at the table when they were talking about two things. I love that he was very transparent about his financial hardships, and that he went through a bankruptcy, and that's something that he would want to communicate with her, that he's like bouncing back from that, and with that came some residual I guess payouts or whatever the case may be that he still had to handle. But I appreciated that he was honest about that, and he did not have to be.
Right.
But also I feel like that's a conversation for later. I felt like if somebody asks you what's something that she doesn't know, y'all just met
Oh my God.
24
So
to
many.
48
She
hours
doesn't
ago.
know anything.
You
bro.
couldn't think of something
I
else.
mean,
You could have thought of like, I don't know my mom, or
Yeah, right,
like, you know what
right.
I mean? Or not like I want to. You know what I mean? It just was, I was proud of him for sharing it. Do not get me wrong. I just felt like it was premature.
I think people are in this moment feeling pressure to try hard, and they showing up as tryhards. because that to me was something where you didn't, that's not something you needed to share right now. You know what I
It didn't
mean?
feel that way.
It was some, like, you don't have to. Some people like Lindsay are just putting
Lindy.
Lindy, I'm sorry, Lindy did the same thing. Oh, I'm gonna tell you about my student loans and what,
Yeah.
like, no, like, and I feel like because people are, they feel, also you got to keep in mind that they are filming this. They're, when they put this out, this is hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage that they're being cut
Yeah,
down
so it could have been
into.
asked certain other
So
things
we
too.
don't know how much stuff was asked
Right,
and how
that's
much stuff
true.
they went,
That's
you
true.
know. And
It could have been
so,
hours of conversation.
right, it could have been hours of conversation, but it's just the fact of the matter that they, uh I feel like we don't know what was said. We don't know how the conversation really flowed to the point where what kind of pressure they was feeling to say whatever they were saying. But I just feel like we gotta start putting boundaries in place when you are meeting these people and they asking these people. And I feel like even the it would be nice to see them sit down with the experts before they go into these conversations and maybe get coached on this. Everybody don't know how to handle somebody else's parents. You know what I'm saying? So y'all threw them in this deep end. Y'all, the deep end of the wedding and the deep end
Them
of,
experts don't even exist,
I
Chad.
know, but that's, it would be nice to see them
Don't
enter in
even
some and
exist.
give them some type of coaching through these different situations. Like, don't overshare, don't be too brash, don't be, you know what I mean. Like, some of these people actually need this coaching. They need this help.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that, like, but I like that he was in his whatever honesty was for him. I like that he was that kind of honest. And I like that he was open about his struggles with, wanting a family and wanting companionship and just not being able to find it and really being locked in. Because I really genuinely believe, first of all, what she asked, that's the kind of question you're supposed to ask. When she asked, what she said, everybody talks about like wealth and all this stuff like that, but what kind of relationship did your parents have? Because you do mirror some of that as you move
Yeah,
forward in
that's a
life.
good
I thought
question.
that was a
There should be more of
fantastic
that.
question. That was a fantastic, and it showed how emotionally intelligent the young lady was,
Yeah,
because to me that was brilliant. Like, these are the questions we need to be asking.
right.
What kind of relationships have you
Yeah,
seen at
what
home?
home do you come from? You
Literally.
know what I mean? What was your family life like?
And then you get the response that Nate had. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he a ball of emotion. So I felt, and when I mean a ball of emotion, I mean that in a positive way. He just got married. So much is going on in his life. His dad came through for him and everything, and he's going through life changes. And then to be able to, express that what he didn't have and where he lacked and it was in a deficit, I can understand how he got worked up.
Yeah, I can too. And it was, like I said, it was a good question. So it
Very
should be
good
more of
question.
that and less of what are your intentions.
Yeah, like we need to keep her on every goddamn episode. Let me talk about Lexus and Justin. I want to like them together so bad, and I'm hoping I grow to it. But individually, I really don't get either one of them, even individually. So therefore, I wouldn't get them together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I don't like them. I don't like them together. I like. It's funny because I find different parts about them as individuals endearing. You know what I mean? Um,
That's a good word.
and together, I don't really, I don't.
So okay, so let's talk about the backstory. Backstory is they matched on Tinder. Okay, and she said they was chatting on Tinder a little bit, and then she wasn't feeling it because he was a little too. I think she used the word neat. Was it needy? Annoying is the word that she used. She said so. She really stopped talking to him. He found her on Instagram. This is before they've been married. This is back in the when. Found her on Instagram, hit her up again, like, hey, what's up? I thought we was talking. And she just was like, nah, you was annoying. I'm done. And I was like, okay. So that's their story. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest. If I walked in the aisle and it said annoying mother jumper right there, seeing it at the end, I'm gonna be like, we supposed to be together. Like, this is my husband. We supposed to be together. Like, I would be like, the Lord is either really upset with me right now. Like, really upset with me, and it's like unleashing the like lotus on my ass or locust on my ass, or I'm supposed to be with this man for the rest of my life.
I mean, I think there is something to that. Them. It's always interesting when people have met already. It
Yeah.
happened with Bao and Johnny, I think, from last
Was it
season.
about Johnny?
Yeah, they met in college. And
Yes.
when it happens, you tend to think, I tend to think like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is it. Like you said, like this is meant to be. Y'all met in college and
Yeah.
y'all about to hit it
But
off.
we hopeless romantics.
Yeah, but also, we like to pay attention to the signs. You know what I mean? Like maybe that was the sign. Y'all met in college and boom, now y'all at
Yeah,
the
that's
altar.
true.
But
That's
we
true.
see how Belle and Johnny turned out. So,
Mm. But yeah, touche. She turned up to be with a black man. But I thought that was a cool story when she told it. But Justin still something about him to me is, and I don't know. You know what I'm realizing, and this is obvious, right? I really have not engaged that many men, like spoken to men. I really do believe that men are second rate. Like I think they're second class citizens. I try my very best not to speak to them too much because you let a man talk too much and you'll be immediately annoyed. And I'm saying it to say I'm like watching and I just don't I want to like him and it's like
it's because he does this thing where, it's like this weird thing where he has like this soft kind of aura to him, but then he speaks and it just oozes of like arrogance. It's weird.
and it's corny.
It's corny
And it's
arrogance.
corny. Then he do corny stuff. Like my thing is, that's what it is. That's
Yeah.
what it is. I don't think that you should self-deprecate. Like I don't think that you should be down on yourself.
But
But I
sometimes
also think
self-deprecating is funny.
yes,
So
it is. Yeah.
I would prefer you to self. Let me say this because we talked about don't lose your thought,
No, 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 no,
but we
no. Go
talked
ahead.
about like leading with certain stuff, and
Yeah.
I somebody was making fun of me in the comments about how it was really burning me up, but you agreed with me, and I said that to say that I would much rather you self-deprecate than you lead with your arrogance ass. You know what I mean? And I think those self-deprecating people are more people gravitate towards them than they do the people who lead with arrogance.
That's true because most of us are self-deprecating. You know what I mean? Everybody see the flaws in themselves.
Exactly. It's more
So when
relatable.
it's more
It's more relatable.
relatable. You're absolutely right, and I think that has something to do with it too, right? Like he wants, but also he's doing. I don't like when people try to be smooth.
Yeah,
You
he's
either
trying.
got it or
Or
you
you
don't.
don't.
You
And
know
when
what
you
I
have it,
mean?
it's effortless.
When you have it, it's just a
And he ain't
thing.
got it.
Like
He's trying. He's trying to have it.
I agree. Like I think my husband is smooth, but I don't think he try. Well, I might just like your teeth.
I
He
really
do this
don't
thing
try.
where he like look at me and he smile, and I just be like,
I really don't try to do. I just try to be me. You know what I mean? And in my relationship, I try I try for my wife to like me, right? But that's different than trying to be cool or
right.
trying to be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because I don't think you're trying to be cool.
Right.
I just think you're
Right.
just a cool dude. Like I don't think that. I just think that's a part of your nature.
And you could tell that like Justin is trying to be like this. So even though he's 6'8", you could tell he feels like he's trying to be tall. It's weird.
Ooh.
It's weird.
Ooh.
It's
That
weird.
is it. He is 6'8", but he's giving very much 5'2".
Yes.
You know what I mean? Please.
It's like a small man. It's like he has a small man complex.
Oh, for
But he's
sure.
damn near 7 foot. It's really
And
wild.
that's
I've
what
never
I'm
seen it
getting.
before.
And that's why I feels a little meh. So he sits down and let's talk about him sitting down with her sisters and everything like that. He sits down and talks to her sisters and he only had great things to say, which I appreciated. Like he said, I felt like the attraction was there. I felt like we had good chemistry, whatever the case may be, which I agree. I think that they had all of those things.
Absolutely, I agree.
And it helped as well that they had knowledge of one another
Mm-hmm.
previously. I think that helped to kind of bring down the walls or whatever the case may
The
be.
fact that they matched told me she's obviously attracted to him. Even with everything that she kind of said before when she said,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
agree.
Like she
I
said,
agree.
because we talked about it before and
I
we was
agree.
a little worried about the commentary that she
Yeah.
had. Well, he wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That was like, oh, okay. So, but y'all matched on, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like that tell me that you have some affinity for him physically because you only
Have the
swipe, you
physical.
only have the physical to match with somebody.
Right, right, exactly. I think it's something to that. But one thing that he said rubbed me the wrong way. They asked him how is he when he's angry or whatever the case may be, and he said, "Honest, or is this?" Well, the point is, he said he's a pleaser. Okay, sexually, financially, mentally, it bothered me so much that he said that, and it bothered me because he's in front of her mother. You don't curtail your responses when you are in front of somebody's parent. I would never talk about my sex life in front of his mother.
No, and that's why I don't want nobody to ask me about it.
Like I just think that it's like, why would you? It's not even to hint that we even have sex, and we
Yeah.
grown. We've been dealing with each other for years. We big grown. So it's like, to me, I just thought it was like, what are you getting at, sir? I don't know. He's just fascinating. But the sister said, now the other sister had something to say, not the one with the red Bobby Boss wig. We know it's Bobby Boss because we're a little bit stiff. It was a little bit stiff, okay? But she said, well, you know that you have to advocate for yourself. You can't always be a pleaser. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to.
Which that told me that she was a married woman.
You think she married?
Yeah,
That told me that,
because that was good advice
one, it was good advice.
for a relationship,
And two,
absolutely.
it curtails the bullshit. It told me that. It told me that when people say they're a pleaser, I immediately think you're a bullshitter. What do that mean? What does being a pleaser mean? You will contort yourself in any way to make sure that somebody else is happy. That don't even make no damn sense, even if it's not serving you.
But some people do that.
No, some people do.
Some
do
people
that.
are. Some people literally try to please to a fault. I don't know that this is him.
But I don't think that they will call themselves pleasers.
I don't
That's
know
what
they
I'm
would
getting
call
at. Like,
themselves.
I'm saying, like, to call yourself that, I think it's kind of like you just trying to use the right word. Like, I think that if you're somebody who does do that, I don't even think you know you're doing it. I think it's just a part of who you are.
I think some people
Maybe.
I think some people know they're doing it and they can't help it. Cause I feel like I've seen, it might have been a TV show I was watching, but it was a thing where like the person hated being that way because people walked on them and they knew that they were the main reason why people walked on them, but they couldn't help it.
You know what though? You're absolutely right.
You
I
know?
was just thinking, I'm going through that right now. Like, I'm a giver, but I'm trying to figure out, why do I give? Because I give a lot. And it's to the point where I'll be not even operating in a deficit from the things, but from the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you're absolutely right, because I would call myself a giver, even though I feel like, but maybe I think all of that has ebbs and flows, because I do believe there was a time I was a taker.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that maybe I'm in my giving season and it's draining my spirit and everything around me, and I don't know why, because I won't stop doing it. So
Yeah, it's a thing.
so
It's a thing
you know
for
what I
different
mean?
people,
I don't know
whatever that
why.
thing is. You know what I mean?
But let's talk about well, she talked to his mama, talked about, the mama asked, have you ever been engaged before? She said she was proposed to, and I thought, so you were never engaged? All you had to do was say no.
Just say no.
Right. Like, no.
Yeah.
No, you were a child, so you did childish things, like have somebody propose to you. Child, I've had 100,000 proposals. What do that mean? I haven't been engaged more than, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I thought it just didn't add to her experience, and I feel like that's what she was going for.
They really wanted to get into her commitment issues.
Yeah, somebody told them.
Somebody leaked the information,
Yeah.
and that's really what they wanted to get into. It was just a terrible execution.
Right. But I also, let me tell you why I like Alexis, because she was having real conversation with women, and she was treating it like that. Like, she was talking to the mother straight up, and I appreciate that. Because that's my kind of spirit. Like, I'm not about to be kowtowing and doing all that. I ain't got time. But it's like, you know what I mean? But but very respectful. I'm saying that to say she was very respectful. But the white woman that was there, Keisha and I pulling even going to ask, was that woman married? Like, who? And I said, damn right, Keisha, inquiring minds want to know, was that a married woman? And what you looking at?
I'm listening.
You had me all
No,
nervous. I'm
I'm
like, what the
thinking.
fuck is
I'm
over here?
thinking about the lady.
And that scared me.
No, I was thinking
And she
because I
said,
was thinking, yeah, who was that woman? That's what I was thinking the whole time. The whole time we was watching that, I even said that. I'm like,
so
who
it
is
was
that?
his best friend's wife.
Oh, okay,
It's his best friend's wife.
okay.
So one, I don't know why the hell she was there, but she was there, and she was like,
They could
"Well,
be close. That makes
sometimes
sense.
marriage is going to be boring, and you just gotta." But I'm like,
But
when did
but
she
that
say anything
yeah,
about it being
yeah.
boring?
I just don't. This is
I
why.
was like, "Are y'all listening to her when she speak?"
I mean, I would be filtering these questions.
Child, it's so stupid. So, they go on their honeymoons or whatever the case may be. They talk about first impressions. Mitch bring up the mama. Why? Because he's obsessed. He's obsessed.
Yeah, I don't get why he keep bringing it up.
It's weird as hell. And
But
then
maybe that's his way of being like, Mitch is like socially awkward. And so
you know what he
maybe
is.
that's
I
his
give you
way
that.
of being like, okay, maybe this works with the common folk in his mind. You know what I
But you
mean?
know what though? That didn't bother me nearly as much as what's his name?
Justin.
Oh my god. The way I'd have slapped him right in the mouth.
I'm
I really take issue. I'm always trying to hurt on somebody, y'all. I really am a lover. But the way I really take issue with that kind of language in mixed company. Now I will curse. Everybody know I'm a beep, bleep, beep. That's me. But I do think that certain conversations are not to be had in mixed company. We all don't even know
at
each
all.
other as friends. So for you to bring up your member and say that in front of mixed company, it's just weird. It's 5'2" energy.
And it's
You're
given
giving 5'2".
that part of it because that's what I meant when I said that. Like it's stuff like that. That's an example of it. It's really given that you're trying to overcompensate for
Mm-hmm.
something or you're trying to put on, and I don't get what it is. Because I feel like even amongst men, like dudes don't just sit around and just constantly talk about their
Member.
yeah, whatever. They
I
don't, you
don't
know
know
what I
why
mean?
I don't want you to say the
I don't
P
know.
word.
Well, because the fact that they're bringing it up,
It's
it's
uncomfortable for me.
uncomfortable. So that's what I'm trying to give. I'm trying to give uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like
because it was weird.
because it was weird. You know what I'm saying? Especially you around other people's wives and stuff. You talking about, oh, I got so hard. Like that's
Oh, I don't
weird,
even
bro.
like you saying that right now.
That's weird. That's weird. Like,
Why would you even? What would ever make you think that that's the right conversation to have?
and you wouldn't be invited to the cookout again. You wouldn't be you we wouldn't be kicking it again. Because I really don't
Ever.
have I got patience in this life for one person, and she's sitting next to me.
Hmm.
And anybody else,
He
friends,
trying
and
to
you
be
can
my friend
ask.
so hard, though.
I'm being straight up though. Am I lying though? Like you don't have that many times. We had a family member, a close family member, who had a friend who I wasn't there, but I found out that he was speaking that
Oh my
way
god.
around the women in my life.
I was too through.
And I literally said, don't ever bring that motherfucker around again. Ever. Ever.
Just no respect.
And guess
No
what?
respect.
I don't think that person would have did it had I been there. So it tells me that there's something
It's
off.
no respect for women.
Right. It tells
Which is
me there's
also a
something,
problem.
which is also a problem. And in Justin's case, these other men were there, so it tells me that you don't have no respect for these dudes, and we would have had to have
You don't
words.
have no respect for yourself
Or
for your
or
marriage.
your wife.
Because it's or your wife. You think she want, even though she's an oversharer too, but you don't think that, I don't think that she would want anybody talking or thinking about your member.
And it's different if it's like this. If you sitting around, we host a lot of stuff.
yeah.
It's different if you like playing a game or y'all sitting around among close friends and you talking about something that is in that area, right? It's different because we've had those conversations, but context matters, right? It wouldn't just be us talking about dinner and I say, oh, she came to dinner. Yeah, that was just
that thing was thing. No, we're not doing all that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like we're not doing all that. You know what I mean? And not to say, like you said, not to say you don't hint at it, but it just gave.
It was just out of
cringe.
place. It was just so cringy and out of place.
But you know what else we need to stop doing? We need to stop thinking that love is based on whether or not you're similar to one another. Cause
yeah, why do we keep? That's another thing
whack
that y'all
to
got.
me too.
Oh my god, you drink milk too? I drink milk. Like this
Oh
is
my God, his friend said I'm
oh my
basically the male version of him.
yeah, like that, like yo, grow up. This is what we did in elementary school. You like the color red? I like the color red.
Right. Me and my
Like,
husband are
yo,
almost
come on,
nothing
y'all.
alike.
Like, we can't just keep doing that. Like, y'all have to be serious. But that's another thing, like, where we need the experts to kind of step in and coach, these people on. Like, when you're meeting
Yeah.
these people, don't just look for, oh, you like to go hiking. I like to go hiking. We're perfect for each other. Like, it's marriage is deeper than that.
It is so much deeper than that. And it almost has little to do with what you like to do,
Activities.
with the actual activities and everything, and more to do with the space and room you have for somebody else. Because you'll do just about anything if you have room for that person. Does that make
Absolutely.
sense?
Absolutely.
You'll make space and you'll make room. So I just thought that shouldn't be the standard by which we.
I
I
mean,
don't know. I feel like I get it because you're just meeting a person or whatever the case may be, but you being similar to them doesn't tell me how you feel about them.
it's but my issue is I don't
Or
get it.
isn't a good barometer to your success in
That's
this
what I'm
relationship.
saying. My issue is the weight that they put on it, and you can tell because they'll talk about it all the time. Oh, we're perfect for each
They
other.
say it all the
Why?
time.
Why? How do you know you're perfect for each other? You just met this person, so the only things you know are surface about them. The only
Which
things you know is they like the color red, you like to go hiking too,
yeah.
and but y'all both like cheese. Like that's all you know. So the fact for you to put so much weight on those similarities, it's like there's something wrong there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's a girl that said we was watching the show and she said, well, if he doesn't like, he has to be into the comics, and if he's not into the comics, I can't be with him.
Oh well,
But she was
she was on
autistic.
this. Oh yeah, yeah. I
You
was about
understand
to
what I'm
say she
saying?
was on the
Like
spectrum.
but that's my point. That's my point. Like she's autistic, and that's how she saw it. She saw it as like, if he's not into comics like I'm into comics, we can't be together. This how y'all talk though.
Right.
That's weird.
It just was fascinating. But I did like that her and Nate shared a steamy scene. It was really cute. It was nice to know
Yo,
that they
it
were
was a lot,
attracted
but
to
y'all,
each other.
but hold on, they trying to convince us that I don't understand. They trying to convince us that they ain't fucking.
They might not be. Let me tell you
Okay,
something.
let's
It
move
ain't
on.
beneath a
Let's
woman
move
to
on, yeah.
shower with a man and not sleep with him. Everybody
Okay,
ain't trying to jump on something hard.
that's not real. That's not real.
That is
It's
real.
not real. That's not real. Ain't no way. There's no
It's no
way.
way you're gonna be.
No,
But,
no, no. It ain't about me. It's not about
is.
me.
I don't
That
even
just
like getting in the shower with Joe because I already know.
yeah. She don't be wanting to even shower with
I
me.
already know.
I'm
I be
like,
like, I ain't trying to do this with
sometimes
you
I'm
right
just I'm just in the shower like with you.
whatever. See, we just talked about it and it wasn't all crass.
Right.
You know what I mean? But no, I do. I like Sasha and Nate, and I really hope it really does bloom and grow. And sometimes it starts with a little physical shake today.
And they ain't
It might not have
it
been
ain't a
no
little. They fucking. They are fucking.
no, don't say that.
They are.
It might not have been no penitence. Yes, I know the word, but I just don't want to say it.
They are
But
penetrating.
no,
How about that?
stop. Stop. But I like that they getting to know each other and exploring one
Physically.
another. You're so extra. I would talk about Ben and
And
I
even
don't
talk about
care.
they about to get married, and
Yeah.
or did they
Bored.
get married? They didn't get
They already
married.
got married. Didn't they
Okay,
get married?
well, wait, did they get
Did they
married?
get married?
I don't think.
No, they did. They did. They did. See, that's the point. We were bored.
I mean, they are a blip on the radar, bro.
And I feel
So they
bad
did
because
get
Ben,
married.
I like Ben, and I want to see more of him in those teeth.
He's not gonna like her,
He already said he attracted her. He thought she was pretty.
but that's him being nice.
Oh my god.
I don't, you know what I mean? And I mean, when I mean like her, I mean like her, like as a person. There are pretty people out here who are ugly people.
That's 1,000% correct. That is very true. But I'm confident his parents have been married for 50. I put it down. They've been married since 1975. So they've been married for quite some time. 43 years, I think that is. Or is it 53? I can't do the math right now. I'm sorry. That's a long time. And it's good that he's seen that. So he has an idea. But he and mama's boy, the mother is going to ruin it. And we already seen it coming. That's my prediction.
I think Morgan is gonna ruin it.
That's also my prediction. She was already talking about, yeah, this is my impression of Morgan. I do Muay Thai and I weight lift 17 times a week. and it's good to know you're a trainer. She literally cut him off. He said, I'm a trainer. You're a trainer? It's good to know. He didn't even say he said
He could barely get it
he
out.
could barely get it out. I work out 17 times a week and I do Muay Thai and I like to throw people on the ground because there you can. I was like sitting there like
She literally did all of
I
that.
was like, girl, with the broad shoulders, we get it, we get it.
But you just come on with the. I just do all of this training and workout and all of that
And
stuff.
bash people in their head. We get it, baby.
But the
we
truth
get
is,
it.
can we be honest about it? No, you do not. You are lying. We could tell by looking at
I
you.
know them arms is up.
Come
I
on,
want to
sis.
be.
Let's be real.
I mean, when
Like,
she said she was weightlifting 4 times a
sis,
week,
no, you do not. Like, no, you do not.
I
Not
was
with them.
like, you just started this week.
Yeah.
You mean like this is Monday?
You're
And
not.
I mean, there with all due respect, we are not body shaming.
No,
you.
we
We're
are
just
saying that you're lying.
speaking I am curious to see how this is going to work out. If she's going to beat him down because she made reference to it more than once.
Which
It
is
was
corny.
weird.
Like, was that your way of flirting? Because that's
It
not
was.
hot.
It
Like,
was. It really was.
You know I can beat you, right? Like, what? That's not.
But she said she dates. They asked her. Asked her if she dates alpha men because she's such a strong woman. First of all, oh my God, this is what I wanted to talk about. And then we are done. The girl walks down the aisle by herself, gets to her vows and says, all the ladies who are independent. First of all, she said, I walk myself down the aisle.
I want you to know I walk myself down the aisle.
But she did it with the shoulders, baby.
Yeah, she did
the
the shoulders. Like, I want you to know I walk myself down the aisle just so you know how real I am, how independent
I want you to know I
Like-
set up this entire ceremony by myself. I lifted every single chair with one pinky and laid it down in an exact line before I got here because I'm an independent woman. I don't need anybody to do anything for me. And I'm sitting there like,
Please stop talking. Please stop talking.
the man literally
He's like,
mentioned
okay.
his credit card or in the vows or whatever the case may be, and you worried about, child, don't nobody care that you're independent. Your daddy wasn't there because you don't have a good relationship. Just say that.
And let's talk about that.
Just say that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it don't gotta be like this thing. Like, I don't need anybody to do things for me.
Yeah, like that's
I made this choice. Sis. It's all about. It's just. Yes, it is a red flag.
Like, what are you talking about? I don't have parents because I don't need parents. I'm strong enough to not. I raise myself. Like, what are you talking about? So let's talk about your daddy issues. What are you talking about?
Because partnership, relationship. Then she said something like, he said, cheers to this relationship. She said, this marriage. And I'm like, is the marriage not a relationship?
Yeah, what do you mean? It's a relation. You have a relationship. Like, it is also a marriage. Like, what do you mean? He's not going to like her, yo. That's what I mean.
Let me tell you something. Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake, anime. Because Ben about to show with a motherfucking black guy.
Yeah.
She going to be beating on that ass. All right?
Yeah.
She said no. She literally said marriage, and I'm sitting there like,
she's too much, and it's not his vibe at all.
Let me tell you something. I'm saying all that to say, listen, sis, I can't fight. So don't be. I know I talk a lot, but I ain't even that girl no more. So I don't want. Don't be trying to
be in the gym.
line.
She ain't about to fight nobody.
Don't be doing that Muay Thai, Donkey Kong moves on me. I don't want none of that. Okay.
She don't know nothing about that. The truth is that she don't know nothing about that.
Let me tell you something. She lives 47 times a week. I don't want no problems.
She's lived in a Muay Thai, not Muay Thai. She don't know nothing about that. You're a liar.
But I was about to correct you. Like, no, it's Muay Thai.
No, it's Muay Thai. That's what she do. She got that confused.
If you have not already, let us know what you think. Y'all need to be commenting the entire video. We want to know your thoughts because all we doing is sitting up here and talking mess, okay? And for all the people out there who's watching who related to these people, I don't want to hear it in the comments. All right? I don't give a damn. She just started working out, okay? So if you have not already, buzz down, subscribe to this channel. Make sure you're a part of our group. You're coming on in and hanging out with us and commenting so we know that you're there. And I guess we'll see you guys later.